I get it though, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people who just wake up in the morning and be like, F LeBron James. Not me though, but
Yeah.
you know,
Man, I'll attach a different a different piece of it that a lot of people don't really pay attention to because as you mentioned, the moment you mention something about anyone in this day and age, you almost get canceled for it. Or you considered a hater or
yeah.
you just don't know what you're talking about, basically, right? Bronny James being the second round 55th or 54th pick in the draft. Okay, cool. He carries the James name. We get that. But we have to also understand that his dad pulled some strings, at least that's what been allegedly, spoken about through the media and through different personnel in the media behind the closed doors of certain conversations that they didn't want anyone drafting his son so that they can get him. Because we all know LeBron had voiced many, many years ago. One of his goals was to play with his sons.
Hmm.
Not one, but both of them. So that's what the trajectory of what he's doing is leading to. And so Bronny being spoken about and talked about as the 55th pick in the draft, all that stock still falls on them because you put that target on his back by allowing him to be drafted to the team you were playing on
Hmm.
instead of him getting his own foot in the door in the sense of going to another team to learn. Like he's
I
not gifted, he's not gifted like his dad was. You know what I'm saying? So it's an unfortunate thing.
yeah.
But
I'm
then
just
but then I
saying,
agree with you. But go ahead, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm just saying, like, him even getting to the point at that point, like, there are a bunch of guys who, like, if you think about how many players in the NBA weren't 20-point scorers in high school, then you talk about how many guys in the NBA weren't at least double-digit scorers in college. We're talking about a guy who wasn't a double digit, he wasn't a 20-point guy in high school. He wasn't a double-digit scorer in college. Came off of a heart injury or a heart issue.
Yeah, I was gonna speak on that too. I was gonna speak on that as well. But go
Yeah.
ahead
It's
now, but go
like,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, and it's like, man, this is like, ooh, boy, that's like, I mean, and I'm trying to be delicate 'cause like I said, I don't want to be the guy that's like, man, but it just seems forced. It seems forced. And when you point it out, people go to oh man, you hating, and, why you worried about it? Like, man, because it's a $1 billion industry of sports that, what I'm saying, that we're not,
And he's a
yeah,
professional basketball player, and no one's above reproach when it comes to being criticized and ridiculed.
exactly,
Like we
exactly.
we we as even on a lower scale of ridiculed and criticizing our jobs, that's how we get better. The only
Hmm.
difference is y'all are making millions of dollars and you're on TV. That's a complete
Yeah.
difference, which is a phenomenal thing for those who work as hard as they do to get there. But of course, people really like put the nepotism label on this situation, which cool, it's fine. It's been nepotism across the board for
Hmm.
in a multitude of areas of the workforce in many jobs, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the one thing I can agree with you on is I believe if he had stayed in college another year after he had his heart issue,
Hmm.
you know, that would have much more solidified the growth that he would have had having a
Yeah,
full healthy season in college to
yeah.
learn, fully grow into his body in on the college scale,
Hmm.
and then also allow himself to be coachable from that sense. Because even coming into the league to play with his dad, we got to realize that was his first year playing with his dad, right?
His first year.
And now his dad is gone. But what if he would have stayed in college and then his dad go to another team? Now you could have been a potential draft stock for that team. And then his dad could have chosen the team he wanted to go to because clearly LeBron had the choice of where he wanted to go. He could have waited till his son was drafted and then went to that team.
He could
And
have.
but I'm saying
Yeah,
it in a
yeah.
sense because the team that would have drafted him based on his capital and what he was able to show, oh, my son really got it. Let me go over there. I want to play with him.
Yeah.
Boom.
It'd have been
Right.
circles too,
As
but
he
it'd
right.
have been a circus too, because it'd have been teams that would have drafted him high just to
just
get
because
LeBron.
just to get LeBron.
Yeah,
Right.
and it'd have been the
So
same.
but
Yeah.
but I'm at this but it's just it could have went that way too. Like his son would have been much more mature. He would have gotten a lot more playing time in college leading into him coming to the NBA instead of the few games he was able to play in college, being drafted to a team where he didn't get much minutes because he played with his dad
Mhm.
and Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Like he was playing behind a lot of other guys who some people would argue he's supposed to be getting minutes over that's on the Lakers bench, but we got to realize that's Tinseltown. Everybody's not gonna get that type of shot.
I
So
mean,
he was actually blessed and fortunate to
who do
me.
you think in the league he should play over? Like if you
Who do
said,
who do
who do
I
you
think he
think?
should play over?
Yeah, that's this is me hating right now.
I don't see him playing over anyone in
Yeah,
the league as of right now because any of the guys that we name are well established already, and we know what
yeah,
they can do. He's a rookie
hmm
coming in. We don't know what he can do. You and I disagreed on the Darren Peterson portion with Ace Bailey.
hmm
I can capitulate to the sense of Darren Peterson's going to get more minutes, but they play different positions. That's not
hmm
the situation Bronny's in.
Oh
Like you
no,
went to a team where the lights are much bigger. But if you went to a smaller market like a New Orleans Pelicans or Minnesota Timberwolves or I won't say Utah because they have a pretty decent team now. But if he went to a smaller market, he may have gotten a better chance to play more than he did there in LA. Like he could no, he could have gone
uh,
anywhere else and got more playing time than he did in LA because you got to realize once again the lights are bigger. Shoot, he could have probably played for the Clippers and got more playing time.
oh no, heck no. He
He definitely could
wouldn't
have got he definitely could have got more playing time for the Clippers.
Chris
As inconsistent
Dunn,
as
uh,
as inconsistent as their lineups were and the way that
but
they just gutted their whole team, he
Chris
definitely could have got more
Dunn,
playing time.
James Harden, Chris Dunn, and who's the other
No,
guard?
Harden got traded. That's what I'm saying. Like, he
Yeah,
wasn't there the whole year,
I
so
said,
he wasn't there the
when
whole year.
when
Kawhi
Chart
played phenomenal.
they brought
Zubats
in
left.
they brought in Garland,
But
so it was
they brought in Garland and Ben Mathurin. Yeah, but
yeah, so I
he
ain't
still
playing.
but he still would have gotten some playing time at least. I'm just saying as far as he would have got more playing time with the Clippers than he did with LA.
I don't
The
think
reason he
so.
got playing time with LA because his dad was there. That's
Yeah,
my only position.
I
Because
thought
if
he
his
would have
dad
got
wasn't
yeah.
there, he may not have played much at all.
He still didn't play much. He only had like 1 minute a game. Well, I think he was like 8 minutes a game, and he only played in like 60 games, I think.
Mm. I mean, that's
So
still a decent amount of games to play in to get that, but it's
yeah,
just we don't not us, but casual fans and LeBron fans who are in full support of him being drafted to the Lakers with his dad. Yeah, that's great. LeBron's a GOAT because he's able to do this and make this decision, make that decision. It's like that's not even what makes you the GOAT in other people's eyes. It's not because of what he can control in the league.
I
Because now
mean,
you have some franchises who seem like they was held
mm,
up waiting on his decision. Like other teams were waiting, like Golden State.
oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? The
he wouldn't.
Cavaliers haven't even given James Harden his extension yet because they was waiting to see if LeBron was gonna go there.
A lot
But
of
I'm like
people
it was
like
so
yeah,
many different, so many pieces that was moving. Like Miami was still making their moves whether he decided to go or not. And that's the thing with Pat. Pat not just waiting on you. He gonna
yeah.
make the moves that he want to make regardless. No, but these other teams were literally waiting and honestly believe that. I mean, Bronny, this is going to be more of an opportunity for him if he's going to get a chance to play. But you already mentioned, and I have to fully agree with this with the additions that they've made to the LA team. Bronny may not get the type of minutes that anybody would think he should be getting. He's not going to get the minutes because we got to realize Bronny was playing over Dalton Connect, but Dalton Connect has already been thrown into the starting lineup
Yeah, I don't think. I
as
mean, I'm
projected at least.
not to harp on this, but it was Chris Paul, James Harden, Darius Garland, Chris Nunn, and R.J. Dennis. Those were the point guards they
The
had.
guards for them.
Yeah, remember Chris Paul got cut midseason when they had the whole debacle or
Yeah, he got
whatever.
cut. Yeah, he got
Yeah,
cut
so
mid-season,
like it
and
would
then
not,
James Harden left a little
and
bit through there as well.
they
Yeah,
brought in Darius
and
Garland. So
Darius
yeah,
Garland.
yeah, it'd been tough to get minutes in that.
They brought him in and Ben Mathurin. But even if that was the case,
That's a tier two
there's a
though.
two spot too. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He won two, but he's an undersized two at that point in the league.
They got Cam Christie, Bogdanovich, Bradley Beal when he wasn't hurt, Jordan Miller. Nah, he wasn't gonna play two. He sure wasn't gonna play two because all he two is a 6'5" and bigger. So
Shoot,
he's a bit.
most of the point guards are 6'6" and taller.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's your rare point guards like your Tyrese Maxey who's 6'1", 6'2". Steph Curry's 6'3", 6'2" with long arms. Jalen Brunson's like barely 6 foot. Like it's anomaly point guards in the league that's not that tall, but
Yeah.
I mean, Darius Garland as well, right?
Yeah.
Like it's anomalies, but yeah, no, for sure. No, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. I just think I honestly believe that he was just put in a bad position
Yeah.
because
And that's what I was saying, Darius.
with being drafted. I think it was just put in a bad position, but it's not like it can't be overturned at some point as far as turning around in his favor. It's just gonna it look like it's gonna be a little bit harder, but we have to see it first because of the
Yeah.
way that the league is now and where it's projected to go. It can go good for him or it could probably be a standstill, but we won't know until we see it.
I don't see it. I really don't see it. That's not a hate thing. It's not a, I just don't like he didn't have the skill set that would, I mean, I see him topping out as a six man. That's his ceiling is being a six man, like off the bench. But as a starter, like I mean, from what nah. But anyway, um, the bigger
I mean,
question,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with that part. Like
yeah,
being a six man in the league is not really bad. Like
that's not
six
bad
men
at
in the
all.
league,
No, that'd
well,
be great for
no
him.
six
That'd be
six men in but look, six men over in the league over the years has been a phenomenal thing. Six men over the last few years has kind of been like a uh probably shouldn't have got it. Yeah, he deserved it. We don't know. Like it's been some
well. I mean,
questionable six men of the years because like Keldon Johnson got it this year, and then you're looking like, bro, what did he do when the playoffs came? You couldn't find him.
yeah, but I mean, I
Right,
think
so
that
it's the guys who gonna show up, but
yeah,
I think he's gonna get a chance to showcase himself because Bronny James he actually got a nice game. The problem that he had playing with LA is that, and this is the one thing, this is the one I promise you, Dwayne Wade said this best about Stan Van Gundy, which is why he put so much praise and trust in when he came into the league, is that everybody don't get this opportunity. And what I mean
yeah,
by that is, and this is what D Wade said, every player don't get opportunity to go out there and make their mistakes and play through them.
yeah,
And you kind of understand that being a coach and
yeah,
training
yeah.
guys and hooping, a lot of coaches don't always allow players to make their mistakes and learn from them. They make a
Mhm.
mistake, they pull them right out. And it's like, how can I learn from it if you don't let me play through it? Now, if it's causing us to get to a 20-point deficit, then yeah, you
Yeah.
should have pulled me out like you know what I'm saying, like 5 minutes ago.
I think
But
that's a
if
newer
we're
thing
looking at it
though.
from a sense of, hmm,
I think that's a newer thing. I think that like depending on your ability and your status, meaning like if you're a franchise player, your rope is longer. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say rope, but you have a long you have a
you
wider
have you have a little more slack in yours, basically.
a lot more leeway because if 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 uh if LeBron James goes out and misses his first five shots, you're not going to put him out the game. You know what I'm saying? If Brandon Ingram misses his first five shots, if Zion Williams, if now if Ty Washington comes out and misses his first five shots, oh come on, Ty. You know what I'm saying? And what to your point, what you're saying, I think that Stan Van Gundy was the type of player, type of coach that would let a Ty make mistakes, and even going back further, once a player has been once the player has a relationship with a coach, the most important part is having the trust of the coach. Because you're never gonna play mistake-free basketball. Like you're human, you're
Yeah,
gonna make
yeah.
mistakes.
And I
So
think that trust, I think that trust goes both ways too. Like they both have to eventually trust each other and
yeah,
knowing how
but
that process is gonna go. But you're right.
yeah, but the coach has the coach has the bigger responsibility because the coach has to be able to say, you can make the mistakes, you can go ahead and make the mistakes, and I'm not gonna I'll hold you accountable, but I'm not gonna have you playing like Thibodeau. Like if you make a mistake, you're coming out, we're gonna put somebody else in because you're not, nah, man, let me play. You know what I'm saying? This is a marathon, not a sprint. You know what I mean? Give me the freedom to be comfortable, because comfortability is, I think that's with any relationship that you have in life, you know what I'm saying? You want to be able to have the leeway to make mistakes and not be held to a, to now I won't say to a standard, but to be like, if I make a mistake here or there, you're not gonna hold it over my head for the rest of my life, or you're not gonna hold it over my head to where now I'm tense about making mistakes, as opposed to be like, you know what, you made this mistake trying to do something for us, or you made this mistake, it was an honest mistake, whatever it was. And that's how coaches and players form bonds, because like, again, like, hey, I missed that shot, or I made a bad decision here, but you didn't embarrass me in front of the team. You didn't yank me out the game. You came and talked to me. Hey, man, we need to do this. Da da da. Boom. Now I have the confidence to go out there and play or be myself, and I'm more likely to make the right play, or at least be able to make the play that I can make.
Yeah, and I think that goes with the coaching styles of today than what it was before too.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like the guys that coach today are completely different. They come from a different way of coaching than what we've seen over the years,
Yeah.
right? You have your Eric Spoelstras, you have now your Joe Mazzulla, Nick Nurse, Mike Brown. Like you have these guys and these coaches, Tiago Splitter. Like, and as he's coming up to be a new up and coming young coach who got the Portland
You naming
Trailblazers
some
to the
old school
playoffs
coaches though.
last
They
year.
got you name some old
Right.
school type coaches though. They
No,
all got old school stuff.
well, they come from the old school mindset and
Yeah, yeah,
background, but
yeah.
but they're so innovative and they've cultivated a different brand of basketball of coaching styles
Hmm.
today, that of which that's kind of similar to before, like the hard nose. We're gonna be competitive. We're not trying to be friendly with people, but
Yeah,
they've also had to realize they had to revolutionize how they coach to
yeah.
fit today's style of play. Because the game has changed with a lot of the rules and a lot of things as being acceptable. And so for me with the coaching style itself, like if you had a Flip Saunders, a Larry Brown, a George Karl, Jeff Van Gundy, right? Kevin McHale, the way that they coach then is not the same today. Now, mind you, they were still a part. Some of them were still a part of the way that the league was changed. Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, like I mentioned, Greg Popovich. They all coach a certain way, but some of them were as great as they could be with their players to get them going and keep them involved, regardless to when they made mistakes. But Greg Popovich didn't care who you were because he got on Tim Duncan. He getting on everybody. He
Yeah.
didn't have favorites.
I, I would
Even though
say,
Tim Duncan was one, he was the reason for y'all to even be winning y'all championships. But he even got on him. He pulled him plenty of
yeah,
times, yelling at him, cussing at him. And Steven Jackson talked about that in plenty of interviews and podcast
yeah,
episodes. Like they seen him talking crazy at Tim Duncan. Oh, we don't even
yeah,
got a chance, basically. We
yeah.
ain't got a chance to be up in here messing up. So the coaching style, I believe, does make a difference today than it did before,
I mean, but I
which
think
allows
that
these guys to play the way that they do.
going down that rabbit hole of coaching, like, I think that there is a, what's the word? There is, there's like, you name some, you threw some names out there, but if you like really examine them coaches, like, so Phil Jackson was, and it's because I'm a little bit older. So
No,
Phil
no, for sure.
Jackson,
No, I'm following you. I'm following
Phil
you.
Jackson was a hard-nosed, punch you. I want to say he played half his games with no teeth in his mouth when he played for the Knicks.
Mm,
He was a
yeah.
hard-nosed, in-your-face guy, and
As
he
far as a
never,
player,
as far as a player.
but when he became a coach, it's like he had a whole different calm persona or something.
Exactly. He was
Yeah.
he still had that hard edge, but he was very much in a Zen, like they called him a Zen
The
master because
Zen Master. Yeah, the
he
Zen Master
very
for
much
real.
was on some, tinkering with players' brains, you
And
know.
psychology, he was more of a
Yeah,
psychology coach. He was
yeah,
big on
yeah.
psychology, yeah.
And then you have your, like you said, your George Karl, who was a defensive, you know, a
And him and David,
defensive,
him and David Adelman were defensive minded coaches. And
yeah,
Jeff Van
and
Gundy too.
they were, but they were totally different in the defense because Jeff Van Gundy was like, okay, we're gonna slow this thing down and grind it out. We're gonna grind it out on defense and give it to our big fellas, whoever we got down there. To the point, like I said, Van Gundy was playing with six, four centers because they were big and strong. Whereas you go to George Karl,
You talk about Chuck Hayes.
Chuck Hayes, and he went and
Yeah.
got Clarence Weatherspoon and all,
Yeah.
even when he had
Yeah.
Yao, when he
He
had
had
Yao and
he had
them,
some guys.
you know what I'm saying? But
Now
they were
he
little
maximized
guys,
a lot of their talent.
you know, but to the point to where he didn't let Francis and Mobley really go, so he kind of put them cuffs on them. Okay, so then you got George Karl, who had the same defense, but he was a defensive schemer where he was really running zones where you weren't supposed to. Where they were running, it was always he wasn't afraid to get that illegal defense call just to scheme. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, a lot of these, some of these newer or younger influencers will make commentary about how they played defense back in the day, and they was letting Jordan ISO and all that. It's like now they were strict about the
They don't even
man-on-man
understand.
defense.
They don't even understand what they're looking at.
Yeah,
They
they
don't
were
understand the context of what that is they're looking
yeah.
at.
There was every first off, just like today, but even more so, like you couldn't help off of Steve Kerr. You lost your mind? You can't. How you gonna go double Jordan and you got Steve Kerr or John Paxson or
A
Craig
40, a
Hodges, whoever?
40, a 40, a 40% three-point shooter out there.
Yeah, yeah. And
40,
you
40
also
plus at that.
yeah, and you also have a Scottie Pippen, and you also have a Horace Grant or a Tony Kukoc. Like you have players. You also have Luke Longley, who, for all intents and purposes, was a stretch five because he had a mid-range jumper. He could. Oh, you had Bill Cartwright, who was an old school banger bruiser, but had a touch game as well. So, it's a lot of things that contribute to
Ugly,
contribute
ugly
to.
jumper, but it
Oh,
fall.
super
He had an
ugly,
ugly
but
jumper, but that man fall.
but exactly would pull around, like I said, would pull up with that jumper, that ugly jumper. But like, okay, George Karl scheming, you know what I'm saying? Running zone, but not really running zone. But and then on offense, he was allowing Peyton to push the pace. He went and turned, he was part of the stretch four revolution. If people remember Dale Ellis coming over there and going from 12 points being a banger bruiser to hitting. He was a 40% three-point shooter for a period of time. Uh who else? Coaching was, like I said, coaching
Yeah,
is very
Larry
important.
Brown, Flip Saunders, Jerry
Larry
Sloan, as we
Brown,
mentioned with
yeah.
Utah. David
Jerry
Adelman
Sloan,
was a
hard
defensive
nose.
coach.
Yeah,
Yeah, all
yeah.
those guys. All those guys.
But like I said, Mike, I remember Mike Brown. I had his playing card when he had the flat top and the little Hitler mustache when he played for Minnesota.
I mean, shoot, even Maurice Cheeks and Nate McMillan, like
Yeah,
all those
yeah,
coaches, man, those all
yeah,
those guys, like they all coach completely different than what they
yeah,
do
yeah.
today. You
Yeah,
know,
but
Avery
and the same,
Johnson,
yeah,
like it
yeah.
goes back. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes.
But they all have unique styles. But I think the difference in today's player and their player is that the GMs push the narrative of positionless basketball and they push a style. The NBA even the rules kind of push a style of play to where you're almost forced to coach a certain way. Like you're talking about Wemby pushing the rock, you know what I'm saying? Like Wemby's not a unique player in his size and his skill set. It's just more unique that they're allowing him to do what he do, meaning the coaching staff, because you got your Ralph Sampsons and your Bol Bols, and you've had 7-footers who've
Who
been
pushed the ball up
known
the
who
floor?
push the
Yeah.
ball forward, who could be agile, but it just doesn't make sense, to have your 7 foot like so you're gonna have your 7 footer push it to kick it to a 6'4" so he can shoot a jumper.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
man. That man, it's crazy that you said that because we had a conversation with Trustee the other day, and he brought up how Wemby is more skilled because he's 7'4" or 7'5", 7'6". Apparently, he grew 1.5, 2 more inches since summer, since
Yeah,
he's still fairly young or whatever. That
yeah.
because he's able to do that, that makes him a much more complete or better player than some of the original big men of the league. But my pushback to him was, okay, cool. He may be able to shoot that outside jumper, but any of the original bigs are going to destroy him on the block. Any
But
original big because that's what a game is.
I would
That's what
say
that
that
game was.
I would say that like people forget that Will Chamberlain was a Globetrotter out of college. He left Kansas to go play for the Globetrotters first, right? He is a runner gunner. If you go back and watch the film on Rich, he was shooting turnaround bank shots, like he wasn't like the connotation is he was taller, so he just over the top. But
Now people don't understand. He had a bank shot. I seen
he
it.
was super skilled.
I went and looked at the footage and seen it myself. It was
Yeah.
like a 12 to 15 minute video of him getting all jump shots,
Yeah,
not
he
dunking,
was
not doing the Big Dipper.
yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
literally shooting bank shots. I'm like, bro, he can shoot off the glass.
He was super skilled. Moses Malone, another guy was super skilled.
Bro,
Like
people do not give Moses Malone his credit, bro, and I do not like it.
yeah, Big
I
Mo was
never like it, bro. People do not give Moses Malone his credit, and him being a three-time league MVP.
it's a lot of guy like it's a lot of players, you know, and what makes it so wild is that people that were that good or like, yeah, Charles Barkley is that, you know what I'm saying? Mo Malone was like Charles Barkley is that, you know, uh, but I don't want to far with that. But again, like it's kind of easy to have, short-term memory and like, oh yeah, man, this guy, that guy, but the game hasn't evolved as much as the game has been controlled from the GM side of it. You know, what I mean, the way they construct the team. Again, we can go to the Bulls when they went and got Kukoc, Pippen, and Jordan at the same time. If you think about it, it was Kukoc, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, and
And
whoever at center.
no, they had Ron Harper. Rodman, they had
Yeah,
Rodman
okay,
either
yeah.
yeah, they either had Rodman playing the center, Kukoc playing the stretch four, or Kukoc being the
No,
stretch five, and Rodman being the rebounder.
the center was Longley at the time. So it was Longley, Rob
Longley
Kukoc.
or okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Kukoc was six man. But I'm saying there were times when you had Rodman. I mean, you had Rodman, Kukoc, Jordan, Pippen, and Longley,
So
And or Harper.
or Harper, depending on how they did the lineup for
Yeah,
whatever game
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
But that's 6'7" across the board, or better across the board, right?
yeah. Because
So
Jordan 6'6" without shoes on, so he could have been 6'7" depending on which shoes he wore that day.
Ron Harper 6'5",
So
six
like you
six,
six
Pippen six
all
six,
the way
six
across
seven,
the
six
right.
eight,
Exactly what you're
and
saying. Rodman 6'9", 6'10" or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
So yeah,
and you got Kukoc, Jordan, and Pippen, and Longley, who got touched from the outside. You know what I'm saying? So this is not a new phenomenon. Like again, in fact, that was it's debatable, the greatest team ever. You know what I'm saying? 72-10 with a championship. So it's like, uh,
we're gonna dive into that later too, man. We got to.
72-10 with a championship. I mean, nobody had that good of a record and won a championship ever. So I mean, but yeah, 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 yeah. It's like being historically fair, to the game. It's not sexy on camera. You know what I'm saying? It's not sexy on camera to be like, yeah, man, Mo Malone would have gave any power forward in the league right now to business. That's not popular to say. It's true though. It's true. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Do you think he would have given them? Do you think Karl Malone would have given power forwards today the business because of his own individual style, or because of the style in which him and John Stockton was able to play together? Because a lot of his points did come off of that screen and roll with him diving to the basket. He did have a pretty decent outside jump shot. I'm not saying that, and he did have a pretty decent post up game. But I'm saying
yeah.
we know a lot of his points came off of diving to the rim after the screen and roll.
Well, only like 30% of his of Stockton's assists went to Carl. That's what I remember. I found that out looking at Draymond Green because I was like, well, who else? I went back to say, well, who else would
Oh,
have a high percentage
you
of
went deep dived into it.
yeah, yeah, who would
Okay,
have, and
okay.
only 30% of Stockton's assists went to
Assist
Malone,
came. That's
went to Karl
crazy.
Malone. You know
That
what I'm
is
saying?
crazy. That is
Because
crazy. For him to have the all-time record, that means he was passing about everybody. It
but
wasn't
look
just
who he
Stockton. I
had.
mean, it wasn't
Look
just
who he
Malone then.
look who he had though. He had Jeff Malone. He had Jeff Hornacek. He
He
had
had Hornacek over there too.
who was that over there on the wing? He had some players with him. Had some guys with him. He had Byron Russell. He had some guys that could put it in the hole, especially finishers. But I would say Karl Malone is very LeBron-ish in ways because he's 250, super agile, runs the court very well, was a finisher, but with but I think he developed the mid-range game a little earlier than uh than LeBron did. So it got to in his latter years, it got to the point where you can be like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got a
Yeah,
screen and roll. We can just give it to you in the high post on the wing
and let you work.
and let you work. Cause you got, again, who was that? Who said that? Who said this? Oh, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was like, people want to have a bunch of things, but be good at a bunch of things, but you be fearful of the man. He said it. People are afraid of the man who can do 1,000 things, but be scared of the man who can do one thing well. Because again, because he was explosive to the rim, and he was so now him in the triple threat is like you're on your heels because that one dribble and you bouncing off of him, right? So you have to give yourself space to be able to absorb or try to do something to try to redirect. So that space you give him, and now I can pull up. I'm really shooting I'm shooting a flat-footed jumper for the most part if I want to, because just doing this and triple threat. So having that one skill, and that's most players, most great players have a skill that they build off of, and now you're trying to counter that one skill, and they find a counter. And they just expound on that counter, you know what I'm saying? I.e. Hakeem Olajuwon, i.e. Jordan, i.e. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, I mean, LeBron James, the ugliest backside step jumper that look at the ball, but it's like I gotta give him space because if he takes one dribble in any direction,
He
I
going right by
know
you. He can either go by you
he
or he gonna make a
or
killer
through
pass
you,
across, or he gonna make a killer pass across court.
yeah, or I can go
Oh,
through you. So I'm bracing
yeah.
myself in all type of ways. So that being said, I think Malone, I mean, it's proven, man, it's number two all time, or number three all time scoring, man. So like we don't have to make any assumptions. You don't score that many points, not being, you don't score that many points not being that good. And
Yeah.
again, he don't get hurt. That 2000 year, he probably get a ring with
Mm.
Peyton, Kobe, Shaq, and who was
You
the
talking about
and
you talking about in oh 04?
that was 04?
He was oh
Oh
04,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
when they got paid in Carmelo.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. They don't get hurt, man. They have a chance to get a ring. They have a super shot to get a ring. They win the
Yeah.
finals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
They did make it to the finals, so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's a whole different thing, man. But with this free agency that's happened, man, what did you ultimately think about LBJ going to the Philadelphia 76ers? I see you on your backdrop, so let's
Yeah,
go and
yeah.
dive right into it.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I mean, it's like I think we talked last time about like what is it? Jalen Brown going there is a conundrum in itself because now you have three perimeter players who have, a lot of I go get it in a game.
Yeah.
Not we got a lot of I go get it.
Right.
BJ and
ISO
yeah, yeah,
individualism.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So now you add LeBron to that with Embiid. Oof, man. I mean, it might work. You might really invert your offense and run through LeBron. So I think that would be probably the best. That would be my, but that's gonna be, I don't know, bro. There's gonna be some coaching going
Man,
on, bro.
to be honest, so Nick Nurse is the coach for Philadelphia. So he actually
Yeah.
has a really good situation on his hands. It's just a lot of uncertainty with the type of roster they have. So they have Dean Wade coming off the bench, Anthony Simons, who's a really, really good scoring option. Dean Wade is a really decent three-point shooter coming out of Cleveland.
Yeah.
They also have
Caldwell
Justin
Pope.
Edwards, who's Caldwell Pope. What he's still trying to work his way to sign there, but if not,
He
he's
signed,
already
yeah.
signed 1 or 2 years as well.
Yeah, he
Okay,
signed
he
for
signed,
two
cool.
years. Yeah, yeah.
And and then you still have Justin Edwards on that bench. You have Boa, who's a lob threat coming off the bench behind Embiid. So they have a solid team in the sense of what to at least anticipate. There's a few things to unpack here though. He's going to a team where you have two guys who almost averaged 30 last year on the same team, in Tyrese
Hmm.
Maxey and Jaylen Brown,
Yeah.
right? VJ Edgecombe, I think, is going to be one of the pieces that suffers the most because now you have 20 points from Maxey, 20 points from Brown,
Hmm.
20 points from Embiid when he's playing indoor healthy because the offense is going to run through Embiid as well, which is going to cause the offense to be stagnant because he holds the ball too long. Now
But
you have also
not
potential, but
really.
you also, but I'm just saying, hold on, but then you have a potential 18 to 22 points coming from LeBron. So that's 80 points
Hmm.
in the lineup for just them alone. We're not talking about your bench points. We're talking about just from the starting lineup. I honestly
But it's
believe, and then I'm gonna hand it right
go
to
ahead,
you.
go ahead, go ahead, go
I
ahead, go
honestly
ahead.
believe from a defensive sense, that's where my biggest question is. But on the flip side, I honestly believe and think that this will be one of LeBron's best passing years because he has all of the scoring options in almost every position on this team.
Hmm.
So not saying that he's not going to score, he may not necessarily need to have to score all the time. But once again, it's also going to be catered to when Embiid plays or doesn't. If he's not playing, then yeah, he may have to up the ante on his own scoring. But I think he's going to pass the ball much better because you have a Tyrese Max who gets downhill, Jaylen Brown who can get downhill, get to the cup, shooting the mid range. VJ Edgecombe is very, very young, and I wouldn't say he's a star, but he's a very, very young, young and bright. Has a young and bright future, and he gets after it too. But then once again, you have to get that ball to Embiid inside. You got to feed your big fella. If you don't, he's going to be upset sometimes, right? So the defensively, I think that they're going to have to work out some things, work on their switches, because this is not really equipped to be a really, really good defensive team to me because you don't know what you're gonna
But
get from Embiid. LeBron is much older. Jaylen Brown and VJ Edgecombe are your better two defenders on that team. And Tyrese Maxey defensively would be considered an undersized um, defender, but he neutralizes that on the offensive end. But I ultimately think that LeBron is going to have his best passing year because he's playing with the most scoring he's ever going to be playing with in the NBA on one team. I'm not
but
comparing them to no Dwayne Wade,
yeah,
Kyrie,
yeah.
AD, or Kevin Love, and nothing like that. But I'm just saying, based on the roster currently constructed, Jaylen Brown was MVP conversation. Embiid has an MVP. Tyrese Maxey was just given the keys to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah.
So that's
But
six. That's 60 points, just them three alone.
think about it. How does
So
Maxi score, and how does Edgecombe score, and how does this is where it
Brown,
fits. Brown,
okay,
it fits because your half court points will come out of Brown and Embiid. That's your half point scores. Half court in your half court sets because they have the cleanest. And when I say cleanest, I mean I could dump it to Embiid, watch him work. It becomes real easy. If the double comes, he kicks. Even if it doesn't come, he's 7 foot. He can. And Brown is pretty much he is a mid range baby, but also he's like three dribbles and get to the basket, get to his spot.
right, right, right.
Maxi, Edgecombe, uh, they're they're up and down. I want to say Maxi, Edgecombe, and Brown were in the top 20 in fast point breaks in the league last year. So that's telling me they're not. That's not
Transition.
offense.
They're more
That's
transition players.
that
Yeah.
yeah. So that's not going to affect Embiid or LeBron. And it's LeBron. It's LeBron, Maxi, and it was LeBron, Maxi, Brown, and Edgecombe. They were all in top 20 in transition
But
points.
but that's why I said that his best passing years because now he can leak the ball ahead quite a few times instead of everybody waiting.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
LeBron's
yeah,
getting the rebounds, if like because Embiid like to play away from the basket a lot too. But
yeah,
on the defensive side, Embiid's not gonna always get the rebounds because it's gonna be LeBron getting some of those rebounds sometimes. Jaylen
yeah,
Brown's gonna get some of those rebounds.
yeah,
But
yeah,
if you have three other guys on the same team with you, and y'all all are good getting downhill and in transition, some of the
yeah,
rebounds, if y'all already leaked out, I'm throwing it ahead. They're not
yeah,
gonna be able to
yeah,
keep up with you. You know.
yeah.
So I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So I think that'll be easy, but playoff times when it's gonna get confused or not confusing, but it's gonna get interesting to see because again, it always slows down. Playoff basketball, 99% of the time comes down to half court game. I think we talked about this before. A lot of times in the season, it's like, oh, run a gun, run a gun, run a gun, run a gun. But if you look at the champions the last 5 years, it's been half court sets that's winning the championship. It's been OKC with
Half court sets,
half
half
court
court, half
set,
court, half court.
half court set. So when it comes to half court set, will Embiid be able to? Will Embiid, LeBron, and Brown be able to coexist? I think Maxi and Edgecombe will be because they're the younger ones, and they really, and we've seen Maxi play off of Harden before. We've seen Edgecombe play off of Maxi before, and Paul George. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's gonna be an issue with those two. Really, I think it's going to be those three. It's going to be some coaching that has to happen. Some
The other
coaching.
three big dog, technically the other three big dogs,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
basically.
and and just because, like, I don't know. I mean, it's a good team, bro. It's a good team.
On paper, they have the best starting lineup right now, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
On
But
paper, they
then
have the best
again,
starting lineup, and it could
y-
be argued they have the best team currently constructed
but then you talk
currently.
about chemistry when chemistry kicks in, because
But chemistry comes.
I
Yep, it
I would
matters. It matters.
I'll put Denver in the same breath with them. I will put Minnesota in the same breath with them. I will put might put Houston in the same breath with them. Definitely OKC. Definitely
San
San
Antonio
Antonio,
too, for sure. Yeah,
New
like
York.
you're talking about teams who are already established, and they're trying to become established
Yeah, and I'm
with
saying
bringing
they
in
have.
Brown and LeBron
Yeah,
because they basically gutted out their team technically. They kept Edgecombe, Maxey, and
and
Embiid,
B, yeah,
but every other position in their bench is not the same.
yeah,
Grimes is
and
gone.
yeah,
George is
Oubre.
gone. Kelly Oubre is gone. Like a lot of the guys and pieces they had last year, that was the integral part for them getting to the second round after they beat Boston.
Yeah,
They're gone now. So it's
yeah.
going to be like you said, it's going to be very interesting to see how this unfolds for this team. It's going to be very interesting. But um, it's kind of just like I said on paper, it's just hard or difficult not to put them up there, right? Just on paper alone, it's difficult not to put them up there.
Okay, so are that starting? Are those guards? I'm going to debate mode now. If those guard of Edgecombe, Maxey, and Brown, all those guys you think have legitimate chances to be ones if the team is theirs, right? If everybody goes
Yeah,
down and it's just BJ, he could be number one. If everybody goes down and Maxey, he could be number one. If everybody goes down and Brown,
it could
number
be
one, right?
Brown, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think those three guys? Do you think that Klay Thompson is as good as those three guys? Ah,
Based on the
ah,
playing style, no,
get
no.
out of here. Get out of here.
Because of their
Get out of
playing
here.
styles, no,
Get out of here.
no,
Get out of
no,
here.
no.
Get out of here. I'm gonna stop there because I'm gonna go on a tangent. Yeah,
The only one I could, if there would be an actual legitimate debate or disagreement on, it would be over
yeah.
Edgecombe because Edgecombe hasn't been in the league that long. Last year was his first year in the league,
You don't
but
think Klay Thompson is as good as
Tyrese Maxey averaged almost 30. Clay Thompson's never done that.
because he never been on he ain't been on he's
Jalen Brown almost averaged 30 last year, and they're both on
yeah.
the same team now. Clay
But I'm
Thompson's
saying
never
that
done that,
Maxey was
and it
averaging almost 30 on a broken team. Meaning, okay, well, look
right,
when I say
which makes it even more towards which makes it goes more catty corner to your point and adds to mine because Embiid was in and out of the lineup as he'd been for the last year, the last few
yeah,
years of this process. Paul George missed quite a few games last year with his substance abuse situation or the
yeah.
ordeal.
That's more
So Maxey was carrying
FGAs.
that team.
That's more FGAs for Maxey. That's what I'm saying. Klay Thompson hadn't really had that chance to have 30 and 40 games getting 20 and 25 FGAs because he's always had Steph or he's always had, and then they also have a very he's so efficient, bro, that he don't have to get them many FGAs. That's what I'm saying. Like he's so efficient. He's so efficient that he's a catch it and shoot it or catch it and two dribble pull. That is hard to guard. That is hard. That's almost impossible to guard. I was watching 520 and they did a replay of when the Hawks when they were at their peak played
Mhm.
what you call it when they had and it was like every highlight was Klay Thompson going off, bro, because it's like when you pass, and he catches it, he's catching the ball again. I can do one thing well. I shoot this thing very well. So every time I look at the goal, somebody's jumping, two dribble to the hole, two dribble, pull up,
Man,
catch.
but we got to realize they were running a complete motion offense though. So being able to
Yeah,
run an offense like that, yeah, he's going to be able to get it.
that's what I'm saying.
But we also understand if you're going to be a number one, that is not just how the game goes.
Why not?
Reggie Miller is an anomaly to that, right?
That's what I'm saying.
If we're going to do a comparison, I'll give him the comparison to Reggie Miller.
That's what I'm saying.
However, Steph has missed games where Klay Thompson could have been the man
I'm saying, okay,
but he still didn't end up being the man.
no, I'm saying that
That's just not
if if
that's
if
not even
Reg
that's not even his persona.
if Reggie Miller can be thought of as one of the best shooters as the man, and
And a franchise guy, by the way.
a franchise guy, you don't think if they ran an offense similar to that for Klay Thompson, he wouldn't be as successful, if not more successful than as Reggie Miller?
No,
Why not?
because Reggie Miller could still put the ball on the floor too.
So could hold on,
We could do this.
hold on. Now you gotta remember that I was alive and
Oh man, here
watching
we go.
watching Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller, he definitely could put the ball on the floor, but I ain't never seen Clay get chased down
You,
and blocked from behind.
You know, we talking about Reggie Miller, the same one who competed against Kobe Bryant.
and Michael Jordan. But we're talking about the same
Right.
Clay who won 73 games, bro.
With a team. I'm talking
So
about the individual. I'm talking about the individual franchise guy going against arguable GOATs.
you know his team, who he had on his team that year? Reggie Miller
Talking
wasn't
about Clay?
holding Jordan.
No,
Reggie
I
Miller
didn't
wasn't
say he
holding.
was holding.
That's
I'm
what I'm
not saying that he
saying.
was holding Jordan, but if we're gonna do a one for one, that was his matchup. The
No,
one
he
he
wasn't
actually did
playing.
was the only one he was guarding was Kobe. That's what I'm
Who
saying
he
as far
wasn't
as
guarding
who he was
Kobe.
going.
They had McKee on him. They put McKee on.
There were
They were
no, there were plenty of play. There were plenty of plays where Kobe and Reggie were matched up against each other.
the
When
same way
especially when he got the 40, especially when he got the 45.
when he got who when who Jordan, or you talking
Kobe,
about
Kobe,
Kobe?
when Shaq
Okay,
fouled out.
yeah, but I'm saying that was Jalen.
Come
That
on,
was
man.
Jalen. That was Jalen Rose holding Kobe.
It
In
was
fact,
supposed to be,
in
but it
fact,
was it was
no,
supposed to it was supposed to be.
in fact, Jalen Rose was the man in that series. When Miller and them played Kobe, Jalen Rose was the man in that series. Jalen Rose the one
It
who
was
dropped a 30 piece. Am I
it's
wrong?
so crazy. It's so crazy. No, I'm not denying that, but it's so
Yeah.
crazy because Reggie Miller himself even admitted I'm guard Kobe, and he's doing the exact move I showed him when we was working out in the off season.
Yeah,
So
that's
he was
you talking
guarding
about
him too in
in
that series.
plays. Yeah, you talking about in plays, but I'm
No,
saying
no, no. I
the
mean, but
man,
no, but in basketball, I mean, you're gonna have your matchup, but you're gonna end up getting that switch at some point in time. So, like
yeah,
at some
that
point,
was
he
a
had to guard
switch.
Kobe,
Yeah, I'm
and
not saying he
but
never.
at
I'm
some
not
point,
saying he.
Kobe was having to guard him too. Yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't mean
Yeah,
his legitimate matchup, like a
his
shooting
primary
guard. Yeah, but
his
his primary
primary
matchup
defender,
was Jalen Rose,
the
for sure.
primary defender was and Jalen Rose. Like I said, he was the man in that series. You know what I'm saying? The next year when they had the brawl, Steven Jackson and Artest were the primary
Was
defenders.
primary
And
defenders.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm saying that, and we can stop. We can. I don't want to go to whatever, but I'm saying
We
that
don't go too far into this.
yeah, yeah.
We can go all.
If you don't think that if the offense was catered the same way that they catered to get Reggie Miller, but just the fact that we know that Clay can score 60s and 40s with 5 and 6 dribbles because the offense is catered to him. Just think about that. Think about that's in certain games when they catered to him, he broke all types of NBA records. Like he literally shattered. They were showing how efficient he could be if we just went to him. And so what that does to the league is be like, damn, now we can't just key in on him because if we do that and they just go to him, so they decided we'll have he the one have to go off. Curry's the one got to do it because he over here is just as devastating with the ball in his hands, and he's 6'5", and he will punch on you in the
No,
same instant.
he's 6'7".
Who so I'm
Clay.
saying he's 6'7" and will
Hmm.
punch on you. So I'm like, I'm not saying, yeah, I'm saying he it wasn't this for a long time, it was the Splash Brothers because these are two of the best guards, two shooting guards ever in the same. And again, this guy's 6'7". We could put on the floor and bang on you if you come too
But man,
close, one dribble dunk
man,
on you.
the only thing I have to disagree with is the team would have to be constructed that way, like it was for
Yeah,
Reggie Miller. But
that's what
that's
I'm
not Golden
saying.
State. But think about it. There's no team in the league that would be set up that way because Reggie Miller was still playing on a team where the point guard was still the primary ball handler and facilitator. We're talking about in a league now where your power forward is now your main primary ball handler and defender.
What you mean?
So
So
the stuff.
you okay? Hold
So
on.
remember what we talked about. So remember what we talked about earlier how the game has changed and things have been
Oh,
revolutionized and the
who's
coaching
the ball?
styles are different.
Who's the ball handler for Houston? If everything's right, if everything is
This past year, Fred VanVleet. Yeah,
Fred
for
VanVleet,
sure.
who's the ball handler for Indiana?
Halliburton.
Who's the ball handler for Detroit?
Okay.
What about New York?
It would be Brunson.
These are all point guards handling the ball. Who's the only? There's maybe 3 or 4 teams. In fact, I don't think it's a winning team in the league who has a 4 or 3 as their main ball handler. There's not a winning team that does that.
You say you don't think that there's a team in the league that has the main ball handler as a
A three
big?
or as a winning team. I can say maybe
I can't say
maybe
that.
Denver.
I
But
can't say
Jamal
that.
Murray handles the ball a lot too.
Hey, Wemby handles the ball a lot, which we all agree he shouldn't be. We do agree. Jokic handles the ball a lot, which we all agree. I mean, but
But
he's been
Murray does
efficient with doing it.
too.
But I mean, no, Murray does too. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Sabonis handles the ball a lot, especially when he's playing.
Oh,
Sacramento.
so you telling
Yeah.
me
So
who was the point guard over there? He wasn't handling
no,
more than
No,
Russ.
but Sabonis been hurt. That's why I said when he's playing, he does handle the ball a lot of the times too.
But when he was
I'm not saying more than, but Russ was only there for a year.
what
Sabonis
about
been hurt
what
though.
about but all them years when he wasn't hurt, he wasn't handling the ball. It
He
was
was.
no, it wasn't
It
it.
wasn't Monk. It wasn't DeMar DeRozan. And it wasn't Zach LaVine because they all been
No,
inconsistently injured.
it was the Houstonian, bro. That's who it was.
No,
The,
they also had Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder there. But Sabonis has also still been handling the
that
ball.
that's the last two years.
No, no. All I'm doing is I'm just giving you bigs who have handled the ball. That's all
I'm
I'm
saying
doing.
they
I,
have. I'm saying the primary handler for them was I don't know why I just went blank on his name. I'm looking at his face in my brain.
for which team?
For the Kings, man, Mr. Clutch.
De'Aaron Fox. No, De'Aaron
Yeah,
Fox. You're right.
De'Aaron
Yeah,
Fox
yeah.
was their ball
De'Aaron
handler.
Fox.
You know what
De'Aaron
I'm saying?
Fox. Yeah, so he was their main ball handler, but
Yeah,
they do have. Remember, this is positionless basketball, so they've pushed it
it's
to where the
not
league.
though.
They pushed. No, it is. They pushed the league to where bigs can bring the ball up and control the ball. I'm trying to tell you,
I agree. They
Bam
can
has
bring
brought
it
the
up.
ball up. Giannis has brought
Who
the ball up. You
they
know what I'm saying? Like
can
that's what
bring?
I'm
Hold
saying.
on.
There are
They
teams that
can
do
bring it
that.
up. They do bring it up periodically, but the primary ball handler for most good playoff championship
Fluid, efficient teams. Yes.
are
Yeah.
gonna be point guards. So all that being said, you're gonna have a point guard with the ball in his hand. I'm just saying, name
Oh,
me a
I don't
team.
know. I I
The
was
last
naming
five
them. I was
champions.
naming guys
The
on the
last
teams. You
five
said that's five
champions.
champions.
Yeah.
Okay, so OKC clearly not in there. Hardenstein not bringing the ball up. Chet not bringing the ball up. So
Okay.
OKC's out of there. Um, New York.
Okay.
New York is a very interesting one because they already don't have like your traditional four and big man out there anyway. So New York. So you're right with them. Denver. Then clearly we already established Denver.
Yeah.
The Celtics. No. Porzingis never brought the ball up that I can recall, nor Al Horford. And Golden State. Well, that's
Golden
Draymond.
State.
So that's two. So
Yeah.
that's two teams.
Eve, Eve,
So two teams out of the last five.
and then you go before that, you got Cleveland. You had Kyrie and you know what I'm saying?
And then you had
It's
LA with New York and then
yeah.
you had the Toronto Raptors and then the original Golden State, so on and so forth. No, I don't disagree with you on that. But
Yeah.
when you brought up teams that have bigs that bring the ball up, I was just naming some of the bigs
Yeah,
that
yeah,
do
yeah.
bring the ball up. That's all I was doing.
I agree that I agree with you. Yeah.
Pablo Banchero could be considered a big or a wing, like you meant. Well, he is a wing, but
Yeah.
is considered big. He brings the ball up. You know what I'm saying? So it's Evan Mobley from time to time are bringing the ball up. Not saying he should, but he does. Um, but you said of championship winning teams. That's when you once you categorize it that way, then we
Yeah.
did have to go based off the champions who did win. It's like all right, all right, cool. It's 40% out of the last five champions.
Yeah.
I'm 40%.
Yeah, yeah,
Look, I'm
yeah.
40%, so I'll stick to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So Braun is in Philly. It's gonna be fun to watch. I'm very much look forward to seeing them. I just want to see how it looks. I mean, you know, I think that
Man. Oh man, that's oh God, that is
I think it's
crazy.
gonna hurt his legacy in the long run.
He is in Philadelphia, man.
I think it's gonna hurt his legacy. Win, lose, or draw, it's gonna hurt his legacy because it's like when you start comparing him to other greats, it's gonna look a certain way. To like because like it's like you team hopping and you go and playing with you know MVPs and I'm not saying he the first to do it.
But he's done it his whole career though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the
Like he's
narrative.
done it his whole career, but none of the fan base of LeBron is gonna look at it that way.
Well, who cares about the fan?
All they're gonna do is shun all of the old guys who did it, meaning like Charles Barkley going to play with the Phoenix Suns after they had a 50-win season, and then he go there. Then you talking about Charles Barkley going to play with the Rockets. Then Scottie Pippen went to go play with the Rockets. Oh, y'all didn't say them when Dennis Rodman went to go play with the Bulls, but no one spoke about the point where Jordan didn't ask to play with Rodman. Jerry Krause came to Phil and MJ about bringing in Rodman. And
But
both of
Robin ain't
them
no
basically said, No, no, but I'm saying
Yeah.
based on how great Rodman was as a defender and a rebounder, which we can't take away his greatness of what he does, right? But the thing is that they bring that point up about Rodman, but they don't look at the fact of Jordan didn't request to play with Rodman. Jerry Krause came to Phil Jackson and Jordan about playing with Rodman, and Jordan only gave him a very, very small sample size of a conversation. He have to apologize to Pippen first,
I just think that, I
and that's what
mean,
happened.
but I mean, Robin, as great as Robin is, Robin is different. It's different. His impact was on one side of the ball. It was a great impact, but
But it's because he
I,
chose to do that though, because
yeah, yeah,
he
but
came from an era where he was averaging 20 plus from college, high school, college, and so on, like you mentioned with Kevon Looney. Like
yeah.
he was a scorer, he was a scorer before he got to the league, but he found out what his niche was and he stuck to it.
I mean, he topped out at 12 a game in Detroit. Once they won them two chips, and then Isaiah left, he kind of just turned into a utility guy, and he he strove. That's the best word. He wanted to have
Right,
wanted to have the
right.
defensive MVP. That's what he wanted. So he wanted that, and so he figured out that's how he could get it, or that's what he thought.
Rodman is the exact example of what you brought up with Bruce Lee and what he said.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
found out
Go.
what he found out the one thing he does well, rebounding is
Hmm.
what he does well.
Hmm.
He realized how from the opponent to his teammates, the ball come off the rim this way, I know it's going that way. If it hits the certain part of the rim and
Yeah,
the backspin is hitting this way, I know it's going that way. That's being able to do your job well. Like he's not just doing it just to, you know what I'm saying, just because. He knows what he's doing and he does it very well. I
yeah.
100% agree with you on that.
And
But
they're and
the
they're
other side, go ahead.
oh, and just to be that um to be that focused on, like to be a savant in that way, to be like, well, I'm gonna sit here and watch. Like that's just a different level of focus to be like, okay, I'm watching how they shoot and how they miss. You know what I mean? Of course, most people like box out. He's like, nah, I ain't even worried about box. I'm worrying where the ball is going. And that's a testament to his workout. Cause like if I know where the ball's going, I can just go up and get it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta box out, or if I know where the ball's going, I know how to box out where I'm not just boxing you out and I'm boxing you out to the left, to the right, because I know that, different level of intelligence, different level of focus, of just IQ.
Man, man, you said something earlier, man, and I really wanted to tackle that about this attacking LeBron's legacy. Some people don't think it will. I'm a firm believer that it will, and my position on why I believe it will is because for me, whether Philadelphia win a championship or not, he goes down on the GOAT ladder for me.
Oh, because it's
And the reason I say that, go ahead.
because he goes down a notch because of his going to Philadelphia for you.
Not just because he went to Philadelphia, but it's because the way he's doing the way he's doing this based on his legacy, right? The one of the things that we're not paying attention to is Hakeem Olajuwon never played with someone else who won a Finals MVP, and I'm talking about those who've won multiple championships.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There is no one else in the GOAT debate outside of Hakeem, LeBron, and Michael Jordan who's played with NBA champions who also had other teammates who won a Finals MVP with them.
Mm,
Kareem has played with guys who won the Finals MVP with him. Magic
yeah,
did the same thing. Bird
yeah.
did the same thing. Wilt did the same thing. Shaq did the same thing. Kobe did the same thing. You know
But
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying? Like
some of them guys played
all
with
of
each
these
other though.
guys. No,
Some of the guys played with each other.
but at the same time,
Magic and Kareem, Kobe and
But at the same time, James Worthy got an NBA Finals MVP out of that too.
yeah, they were all teammates. I mean, they were all on the same team. They were
Right.
dynamic as team.
Dennis Johnson got an MVP with Larry Bird. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you there, but I'm saying like in this debate, that's one part that no one ever pays attention to. Like who else has gotten the Finals MVP while we were playing with you? It never
Yeah.
happened with Jordan. It would have happened with LeBron in 2011 if Miami won that championship, but LeBron didn't show up.
Mm, LeBron didn't show. That's true. That's very true.
So then, so then when you look at Hakeem Olajuwon, he won his two NBA championships. He was a two-time Finals MVP both times.
Yeah. But second time he
So
played
so
with
so so that so that will
I
put Hakeem up there. That will put Hakeem. That will boost Hakeem for me because even with the great Tim Duncan, Tony Parker got to find his MVP out of that.
yeah.
Kawhi
Yeah.
Leonard got to find his MVP. So if we're gonna, so that's why I put in. That's why I always make sure I frame my statements this way. If we're gonna consider someone who's lost in the NBA Finals the most out of anyone who's in the GOAT debate, anyone else who hasn't lost that much is definitely supposed to be ahead of him.
I mean, so
That's Kobe, that's
so
Shaq,
let's
that's
do
Tim
this.
Duncan,
Let's do
that's
this.
all of those guys.
Name your top 10. We can end the show on that. Name your
Okay,
top 10 NBA
of all time.
players. Your well, okay, I'm gonna ask you first. You want to do who you think is or your favorite?
Let's say favorite for the next time, and let's stick to
Or
because
who you think? Okay,
because if we do favorites, then any all the guys who are in the GOAT conversation wouldn't even be on there for a lot of
okay,
people
okay, okay,
because
okay.
people have favorites.
Yeah, yeah.
So I won't be unfair like that. But if we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say top 10, do you
Top
want them in
10.
order or we just kind of just name them?
Just name top 10 and we'll put them in order another day.
Okay, okay.
Make sure I
If
say
we're
this.
gonna
Let me write this. Let me pull out my stuff so I can write this down.
we could
All
type
right,
it
go ahead,
up or
go ahead.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Or put in. We could create our own little chat and send it to each
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
other.
yeah.
So of course MJ's gonna be in there for me.
Okay.
And I'm actually
Of
probably about to
course.
just do mine in order.
Okay, go ahead.
MJ's gonna be in there for me.
Okay.
Kareem is in there for me.
Okay.
I have Tim Duncan up there.
Okay.
I have Kobe.
Kareem.
I
Hold
have
on. You go too fast
LeBron.
for me.
Sorry,
Kareem,
sorry.
Kobe,
Well, Tim Duncan before
MJ.
Kobe. Tim Duncan before Kobe. Well, I mean, no,
Okay.
I'll tell them to you instead of putting them in order.
Yeah.
So MJ, Kareem,
Uh-huh.
Tim, Kobe,
Uh-huh.
Shaq.
Okay.
I also have Bill Russell,
Okay.
Hakeem Olajuwon,
Okay.
Curry,
Okay.
Magic, and Bird.
Okay. Oh, no, bro. Okay. That's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh,
Okay. All right. All right.
I do apologize. Remove
Yeah.
Curry and add Bron. I'm sorry.
Oh, you say you putting Bron? I mean, I'm okay with it. Me, I don't think he's in the top 10, but
I thought I had mentioned Bron. My apologies.
okay.
But
Okay.
see,
That's
but
yours.
that's where the art. But that's where the argument could come in, right? Like who
Yeah.
actually is in that 10th spot, and then
Yeah.
who's on the outside at 11. I'm not gonna have Kobe outside of there. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
have Tim Duncan. You know what I'm saying? But if we was to talk about favorites, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Kobe Bryant are the three reasons why I love the game of basketball. And then Dwayne Wade came into the league, and
Yeah.
then that took me to another level of understanding basketball the way that I do now, which is why Tim Duncan and KG 21 is my favorite number because of those two guys.
All right. I'm gonna tell you my top 10. Now, no order, no order. We'll go MJ.
MJ.
We'll go Dream.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Stockton. I'm gonna go
What the
Magic.
hell?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Magic.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
I'm typing
Stockton.
yours up too.
Yeah, yeah.
MJ, Dream, you said Stockton,
Magic.
Magic. I'm gonna send you a
Bird.
list to you.
Yeah. I got yours. Too. I got yours. All
No,
right.
no, no. I'm putting it in our messages, so I'm gonna send it to
Okay,
you.
baby. All right. Okay. MJ Dream, Stockton, Magic, Bird. Ooh. Ooh. Let me
Man, you
go.
sound like you're doing your favorites.
No, no, no. I mean, I can give you, some rundowns on why. I'm gonna say them, and then I can give you some rundowns why I put the people in there.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
we can do our spill and then we'll go from there. Yeah. So that's
uh,
five. That's five so
yeah.
far. MJ, Dream,
Okay.
Stockton, Magic, and Bird.
I'm gonna go. Kobe.
Kobe.
I'm gonna go. Oh, now it's getting tough. I'm gonna go Barkley. That's 2, 4, 6. That's seven. I got three
You had
more.
seven. You had seven. Yeah, you had seven.
Okay. I'm gonna go.